this 3030 continues to be so prestigious and has really scaled over the years, is that we have great entries, and that just makes the whole thing so much more credible, and it's critical to the whole thing working. So thank you so much for entering, and as Parul said, the quality of the entries just goes up every year, doesn't it? It's absolutely brilliant. I was watching a number of the videos this morning, and some of the things you guys are doing in the entries is just brilliant. The next thing I should just say thanks so much to is to Sujit and Madan. The guys have been supporters, sponsors as Godrej and Ad Factors for a number of years now. And it's just so important because it enables us to make the entry free. And that is just absolutely vital to the whole thing being a meritocracy. It means you guys don't have to pay, your employer doesn't have to pay. And I just think it's an absolutely crucial part of something like a 3030. And frankly, it's why it works. So thanks so much to Sujit and Madan for continuing to enable that to happen. We massively appreciate it. And as we all realise, I think it's the 8th year. So there's only going to be 240 of you by in about half an hour or so's time. It's a really big thing to be part of, and it's tough to be included. Let's get it right. And there's only, as I say, about 240 of you over 8 years or so. And I have to say, we were chatting about this the other day, that some of the people who your predecessors, so to speak, have gone on to have some of the biggest PR jobs in India and also beyond, I notice as well. So it really does have a track record of success, and includes, I should say, some fantastically talented people over the years. Enough from me. Back to you, Parul.
Thank you, Ben. With that, I'd like to introduce Sujit Patil from Godrej, who's in fact supported us from day one, literally, of this 3030 event that we do. Welcome, Sujit. Sujit, as you know, is a weekend farmer. And those of you who are in Bombay should definitely ask for a visit. Last I saw, he was growing dragon fruit. So I think it'll be fun if we can all land up at Sujit's farm and invite ourselves over. Welcome, Sujit.
Thanks, Varun. I think more than a communicator, I'm known as a farmer now.
I'd also like to welcome Madan Behel, co-founder and managing director of Ad Factors PR, India's biggest PR firm and also an independent PR firm. As Madan's grouse with PR movement is that we never allowed him to enter the 3030 list. And like I was saying, if we did that, I think it would be really difficult for us to find other winners. On that note, welcome, Madan.
Thank you. Thank you, Parul. Thank you.
So I'd like to kick off with a few questions for Sujit and Madan. And before we do that, I'd like to thank our jury, who is also present here. Thank you so much. You always support us. Some of you have been on the 3030 panel from day one, and from the first time that Ad Factors helped us launch this idea way back in 2015. And some of you have supported from day one when we weren't really sure how the industry would react. So thank you for all your hard work and effort in making this a truly fair and free list. So with that, those in the audience, we also have 3030 alumni in the audience today. If you have any questions for Madan and Sujit and the jury, please keep it ready. And we'll take a few questions after we have spoken to Madan and Sujit. My first question to you is that, it's a bit of a global question, but where do you see the trends of PR going, considering all that has happened to us? And we are currently in a consume, create and own economy, which is like Web 3.0, as they say. In this scenario, how do we ensure that PR is very much on trend and in focus during this really almost like a sunrise phase, which can potentially be a sunrise phase for the PR industry? Madan, would you like to go first, and then Sujit?
I think PR is an eternal business. It was there at the times of Ramayana and Mahabharata. It is there today. And as the world gets more complex and more complicated, its need as a institution of intermediation between two parties will always be there. So whether the forums are digital or the forums are a chopal or a village meeting or a parliament, that arbitration process is an ongoing process. And regardless of the technology sophistication, and those, of course, will have to keep evolving like that, PR will continue to be very, very relevant, and its relevance will keep increasing every day. So this is a business that will keep growing exponentially.
Thank you, Madan. Sujit, PR is eternal, and how do we ensure it remains eternal and gets a much bigger pie of what is an eternal role in the future?
Parul, I'll touch upon some of the trends which I'm witnessing versus the past few years, and I agree with Madan, sir, that yes, of course, since Ramayana and Mahabharata and all the epic stories have had an element of PR. In fact, post independence also we had so many manifestations of PR. Knowingly, unknowingly, Mr. Mahatma Gandhi also used a lot of PR. The whole Dandi Yatra, the symbolization of Charkha. Assimilating people, aligning them for a cause. I mean, these are all things which are elements of PR. I mean, I just wonder sometimes if Twitter was there during 1942, during the Dandi Yatra, what could have been the effect? Maybe Britishers would have gone back in 1943 itself. But that's the power of PR, which really matters. Some of the trends, in the recent times, which might sum up for the question which you asked in terms of how do we stay relevant. I think there are a few trends which are very close to my heart and which I always keep telling my own team also, and whenever we generally talk. So, barring what we do for PR and what the other activities and tasks and strategies and all those things, I think 7 or 8 things which are crucial, which have come to the fore after the pandemic. I mean, I'll just put some thoughts around that. I think the first trend which I see is that it's now the time to actually listen and engage deeper. It's about shutting the microphone and putting up the headphones. I think that listening ability for all the PR professionals to see what's happening in the ecosystem is absolutely important. I think it was never something which we all focused on. Today it's important because there are a lot of things which depend on what the stakeholders and what the people who are our stakeholders are talking and percepting about us. I think the second most important point is the dawn of authenticity. I think one of my colleagues who had framed this whole thing, the new AI. We talk about AI and technology. The new AI is basically authenticity and inclusion. I think each and every PR professional, if they ponder and focus on these two tenets when they plan anything, I think half of the job is done. The third thing which comes to my mind, is the twilight of spray and pray. That strategy of branded content is gone. I mean, advertising claims, pompous claims, they're all called out. So PR has a big role to play in terms of the third-party endorsement or being authentic. So I think that whole element of content which is research-driven, which is backed by data, that brings the emphasis on data, that's going to be absolutely important. The fourth trend which comes to my mind as I speak is it's going to be the era of regional hyper local content and about micro influencers kind of a thing. If you ponder on that point, I think if I talk about just the Godrej Group, we touch about 750 million consumers in our country, and all of them are not sitting in Bombay, Delhi, Bangalore, and Kolkata. I mean, they are in the hinterland. If our strategy is to be focusing on ETs in the Times of India, we're not even reaching out to the people. So the whole power of regional is going to take it to the next level. I think that's where we need to focus to be more relevant. That's what I reckon. In fact, micro influencers, rather than most of the brands are today not looking at an influencer who's got millions of followers or a big celeb name, but looking at smaller influencers who are able to capture the micro markets. That's where the difference happens. So I think this is another trend which we're seeing very frequently. I think another thing which Mr. Bail would also agree, and I've learned that from him only, is it's all about sunrise of the PR thought leadership. How we pitch in the PR part, where we grab the position that PR truly deserves. Marketing, advertising has done it in the past, but how do we bring to the fore our thought leadership in terms of where we can really impact in terms of larger narratives and reputation? I think we as PR professionals need to start focusing on that rather than disseminating press releases and stuff which are mundane kind of a thing. spotlight on communication channels is also going to be important. I think we are looking only at media. I think we need to expand our horizons in terms of reaching directly to the consumers, own media properties, having our own capabilities in terms of creating content, our own capabilities. If I ask a question for this 99 people on the call, everyone would agree that they manage social media handles for their leaders and stuff. My question is, how many followers do you have personally? You are the advocates. If you don't build and invest in that, that's going to be a painful act going forward. So my thing is about having our own salience built. In terms of technology in PR, I think that's going to be a big trend going forward. Metaverse is around the corner. Metaverse in PR is taking shape. These are the baby steps that we need to start taking now in terms of what are we doing around it. How are we changing the way we look at PR, immersive communication? And that's a space which is ready for us to take in. I don't know any of the large PR consultancies which have a vertical which talks about metaverse or high-tech PR. I think that's a big scope available. And most importantly, one of the biggest traits that all of us need to today demonstrate is, all strategy and planning has gone for a toss, and that's what pandemic is taught. The only strategy comes through when we are agile. So agility is one core competency that we all need to develop right now, because plans keep changing. Overnight press conferences get cancelled. Overnight press conferences are required. How agile are we to cope up with that? So that preparedness. I think I can go on and on and on, but I think these are some trends which are, coming up, which probably even I and my team are grappling with to a certain extent. But I think these are the things that we need to focus on so that we going forward, are much prepared. Impact is higher, and the outcomes that we're able to demonstrate are also solid. So I think I'll end there. Otherwise, for me, it's difficult to stop. Sorry for that, but
that was actually a very important, hyper-regionalism, and which platform and Meta. We had the opportunity, PR Moment had the opportunity to host entire podcast in the Meta, and the experience was absolutely mind-blowing. I can tell you that. And if, the kind of videos we saw of what Cadbury has done with moon dating and with a live wedding in the Meta, it was absolutely mind-blowing. But with that, I'd like to go on to the last few set of questions. Madan, AdFactor spends a lot of time in upskilling. What skills do you think would be important for those under 30? And another second part of the question is that what kind of career advice, I know it's a bit of a cliched question, but an important one. What kind of career advice would you give to our 30-30 winners today?
Let's deal with the first part first. What kind of skilling? It's a changing landscape. The metaverse as a word was not around 2-3 years ago. Today, a whole new dynamic has come up. Data and analytics wasn't there on our agenda maybe another 5 years earlier, and it's now center stage. So you will have to be, as Sujit used the word, agile to take on things that are coming your way and do it. But I think the eternal truth again would be continuous learning. A person, individual in a very fast changing world like that we live in, does not invest on an ongoing basis in learning and development is a dead horse and redundant in the next 3 years. That's it. That's the life. So compared to your own peers who are investing, and I'll put some practical tips here. If you're very early, most of you would be 26 or 27, or some will be 25 or 29. But assume that you're going to be working for the next 50 years, not 30 years. Whether you choose to work or not, that's another matter. But technology and biotechnology developments are working at a pace where each one of you will live, unless your plane comes down, you will live for probably 120, 130 years. That's going to happen in the next 10, 15 years, those kind of changes. Now, if you're going to be living that long and there's so much to do, how do you save time? So learnings that save time for the rest of your life are an important thing. And let me start with the first one, Microsoft Office. I work with people, I can't type myself, but so I work with people who can help me out with PowerPoints or Excels or Word. And I can find the difference of 10:1 in speed between two people who are very familiar with Microsoft Office. If you're going to spend half your life in front of a computer doing one of the Microsoft programs, then you have to be really adept at that. It will save you an hour, 2 hours every day. It can be learned. Then the second part of your life you're going to spend, let's say, doing meetings. How to conduct an efficient meeting is a learnable program. How do you drive outcomes? How do you set an agenda? How do you follow up on it? How do you get the best out of the people in that team? How do you keep the meeting focused? Even as a young people, you don't have to be a witness in the room. You can participate actively to do that. The third would be the rest of the time you'll keep traveling between Noida and Gurgaon with a lot of traffic in it. And how can you use more collaboration tools, more digital tools to save on that time? So I think these are the 2-3 steps which will probably save you 3-4 hours of your time for the rest of your life, which means adding 10 years back. As easy as it sounds, most people don't do it. And beyond that, the learning agenda can be a very large agenda for a public relations professional, because I think it's the most demanding profession. If you take lawyers, for example, a typical lawyer does one course which everybody does. All lawyers do the same course. They practice one particular law, whether it is the mergers and acquisition law or the taxation law or the divorce law. They practice one law in one particular court, in a particular kind of a judge for the rest of their life. So it is very easy to become an expert in that thing. And somebody can become Mr. Harish Salve and somebody can be Mr. Savla in a session court. But it's simpler. In management consulting also, it is simpler. You become a management consultant in PwC or Bain or in McKinsey. You are a supply chain consultant or a M&A consultant or a growth consultant or something or the other. The complexity and diversity that an average public relations professional is used to is simply mind-boggling. And therefore, learning becomes that much more complicated. But I'll leave one simple tip again. If you do not invest 45 minutes, 30 minutes at least in reading every day, and I don't mean reading as in Economic Times, well, that's good to read and you should, but reading that is relevant, that takes your craft and science forward. I have probably interviewed a few thousand people in my life, and that's one of the things I do. One of the common questions I've asked is, have you read a single book on public relations since you joined public relations? The answer is 99% no, 99%. What do you expect from a profession that is as serious as public relations, where the entire universe of practitioners hasn't read a single book since they joined the profession? That is why PR continues to be at the bottom of the food chain in professional services. And therefore, maybe you should take it as a personal responsibility to change some of it, at least where you stand. And therefore, some reading, some learning. What that reading could be, maybe based on the practice that you are in, or the kind of organization you are in, or what makes sense to you. It's beyond the scope of this discussion to go into details. But if you want to have a separate session somewhere, we can work it out. But a little reading. The last thing that will unleash a lot of value is again an acquired skill. And that is the power of simple questions. What can I do? What are we trying to do? Who are we trying to address? What do they consume and read? How can we make it more impactful? Have we missed out something? Could we have done something better? Did somebody else do something better? Those kind of questions unleash a tremendous amount of value. And the last tip I'll leave is 1:10 rule. That if you are going to work 10 hours in a day on a particular account, whether you're a corporate communications person or an agency person, typically you're handling 1 or 2 large accounts. Spend 10% of your time in planning. Planning is a missing element in public relations. And if you do plan with some simple things like this, simple questions like this, and simple planning frameworks, the value that you'll unleash in the remaining 90% would be exponential. So I'll leave with some simpler things here and not get into complicated things.
Those are absolutely gold tips. Each one of them is usable. And I think planning really stood out for me, and spend 30 minutes reading, nothing better then that I would highly recommend subscribing to New York Times. It's just 60 rupees a week. It'll cover every possible sector that you will be doing as an agency. So recommend that. With that, over to Sujit. The same question really: what skills are required, and what should the people do to? What kind of career advice would you offer to them?
I fully agree with Madan, and I think what Madan has spoken is not only about what he wants to say, but he's actually doing it, and that's the beauty of it. I mean, I've seen Ad Factors also happens to be my consultancy, and I've seen Madan leading it from the front in terms of capability building of his teams. I mean, the kind of programs he's running is insane in terms of the kind of width, the kind of depth, and he runs these programs called Decathlon. I think it's hats off to that kind of a futuristic thinking. But coming to the point in terms of some of the key competencies which I would probably recommend in terms of building our own careers in the most appropriate manner considering the kind of trends that we're seeing. I think I'll probably, for ease of simplicity, divide them into four buckets. I mean, the first thing, as Madan also spoke about planning, it's all about strategy. We need to ask our question whether, as PR professionals, do we really understand branding? Do we understand competition analysis? Is our business understanding to the level where our stakeholders are asking us to be? Are we good at campaign planning? Marketing plan development? If you do social media, are you good at SEO? Do we understand finance better? I think these are 5-6 things which help us plan our accounts, plan our own strategies in a beautiful manner. So I think the first question is, first vertical is about strategy. So these are some of the competencies that I personally look at when I hire a person. The second critical aspect as PR professionals and communication professionals is engagement. How do we engage with our stakeholders? And engagement is a larger word, but at a very ground level, do we network enough? Do we network enough? Are we associated with industry bodies where we come and benchmark ourselves with the kind of work others are doing? Are we really people's persons? Are we looking at learning, adding value to other people? Are we building relations with or at a very ground level relations with influencers and bloggers the way we build relations with media? Do we have those lists kind of a thing? Do we actually do some kind of research in terms of who are the right stakeholders? If I want to go and do some campaign in Lucknow, do I know sitting in Bombay who are going to be my stakeholders there? I think that's another important aspect in terms of engagement. So these competencies really help. The next and the most critical part going forward for a PR and a communication professional, and more so for the under 30 guys, apart from you guys giving us a complex because we are 40 plus, I think you have the greatest opportunity to curate content. Are we good at curating content? Are we just disseminating press releases? Are we good in our writing skills? Can we draft an article overnight based on some data? Are we experts in creating infographics, maybe op-eds? Are we good at packaging our presentation? Half of PR is packaging. The narrative is there, but how do we actually present it to the people? I mean, it's PowerPoint is one part, but bringing in the real story. Are we in a position to do a kind of a webinar? If a client says, okay, tomorrow I need 5 people, do we have those networks where we can, these are going to be decisive factors. And these are the things for which a corporate goes to maybe an event agency, maybe and doesn't go to a PR consultancy. Why? Because those competencies are probably lacking. So are we building those competencies? Are we adept at making white papers? Are we good at overall event conceptualization? And to fuel all these things, is our understanding of social media and digital PR, really good in terms of can we promote on multimedia, or do we need to depend on a media buyer for that? ORM, online reputation management. How many of us, without even understanding, or taking help from a typical research agency, can actually see what's happening in the media, what people are talking about us, and in an agile manner, probably try to change the narrative or maybe feed in some data. What is a digital savvy? These are all the competencies which are going to be like lifelong competencies. These are easy to learn. But as Madan rightly said, probably, and I'm a culprit on that. I mean, I hardly read any books. And excuses matter. I mean, we are so strong at excuse. We didn't have the time. But it's up to us to build our careers. The different, one of my colleagues defines the difference between a job and a career is defined and driven by passion. Job is driven by salary. Once you have the passion, salary automatically comes. So I think that passion to be demonstrated in terms of learning, uplifting our own competencies to stay relevant for a longer time. And the writing is on the wall. I mean, we know exactly what we need to do, where competencies, where are we lacking, what are the other functions grabbing our pie from, we lost the overall impact on internal communications. It's done by HR. The entire social media and the social front, we have a competition with marketing, but why can't we create and upgrade our own knowledge on that and take that share of the pie? I think it's the best part of today's time is we know what we want to do. The question is how many of us actually do it. And I think I don't know the demography of this audience is 100 people sitting here, but if you want to see what's happening, what's driven by one of the largest consultancies like AdFactor is about getting people to do multiple things, learning and reporting it back to the managers, and there are scores and rewards and recognition. I think the impact would be seen in a couple of years' time when people who come in are trained in terms of those competencies, the deliverables, the delivery potential, the way they service clients, the way they measure outcomes. That's going to hit the sky. So I think, long story cut short, it's in our hands. We have to demonstrate the passion. We know exactly what's the writing on the wall, which are the competencies required for us to flourish with the trends which we see every day, and just go behind them. I think that'll solve the problem, I guess. And it's fun, we don't do anything rocket science, basically. We do things which is common sense, which probably is becoming uncommon. So
one of the simplest ways also to learn is to have a challenging client like Sujit Patil all the time, who will keep you on your toes and helps you keep learning all the time.
Madan, our narrative is going to be like, you scratch mine, I scratch yours, So, but I agree with Madan in most of the things, and I'm specifically impressed with the way AdFactors is trying to groom their youngsters, and that's the example I just wanted to, which I've seen myself. Hence, I spoke about it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Sujit. With that, I request if any of the jury members would like to make a very short comment, and we can then air the video of the winners. Just if any of the jury members who've been very supportive, would they like to comment?
Parul, can I come in?
Yes, Girish, go ahead.
So just very quickly, loved hearing what Madan sir and Sujit had to say. I think one thing that you said at the end, Sujit, maybe PR moment, can you help us? Maybe Sujit can run some sessions on how to be a great client. I would love, for some of my clients also to understand what does it take to get the best out of your agency team. So maybe if I can leave that thought with you and see what you can do, that would be really great. I think I really love the bits about learning and development. I think health, because like Madan sir said, it's one of the most demanding, challenging professions we're in. Focusing on your health and drawing your boundaries. So, for example, just very simply blocking out your lunchtime to say, I'm not available. Just simple things like that will help you sort of just take more control of your own health. And then finally, I would say, in the next 9 years to 2030, we're going to see such a huge effort towards sustainable development goals, India's sort of, alignment with it, the amount of social change communications that's going to be required. I would encourage people here to sort of look at that as an opportunity to use communications to really make a difference. So I'll just leave you with that thought. Thank you.
Thank you, Girish.
I'm going to pick up.
One more very comment. Go ahead, Kavita.
I just wanted to say, it's always fantastic to be on this platform and see the future of our industry. And, one of the things that Girish said was fantastic, that, we are in the midst of crazy amount of change, And having said that, in the midst of all this change, I think the only and the most important currency that exists is the currency of communication. And all of us on this platform and within this industry are really we own this currency. So we should be a lot more responsible and, pick up some of those points that Madan and Sujit have talked about, whether it's learning, whether it's investing time and kind of, planning out our campaigns. I think these are all very valid points. And I think the most important thing is to really put them into practice. So we go inspired from various sessions, but if we lose all the learnings or we just kind of hear it and then forget about it, it's of no value. So in my mind, the biggest and the most important thing that everyone here, whether you've come ahead in your career or you're just starting out, is to really put all those things into practice. And that's what's going to make a change for the industry as well as the larger economy. So that's all I wanted to say.
Thanks, Kavita. I think a very pertinent point here is it starts with each one of you on the way you own your own brand. And I see that reflected in the way your entries were shaped. Some of them definitely stood out because you could see how you've owned your own career journey in your professional growth. So my only advice to each one of you would be continue to stay focused on that as you build, own your own journey. As I love, my favorite user word is own it. And last but not the least, it's not just about all of us telling you what you can do and what we have to tell you. I, for one, always go back energized, seeing the energy and the enthusiasm that you all bring to the table. Please do not let, as the years progress, don't get cynical about things. Maintain your fresh thinking, maintain the fresh approach and energy of ideas. That's all. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Arpana. On that note, I'm just going to play the video of the winners. If you can hear this, just drop.
Here are the winners for the Godrej PR Moment at Factors 3030 for 2022 in alphabetical order. The first winner is Ashima Verma, Senior Account Manager at PR Pandit. Her explanation on why PR are change agents in a world where consumers are looking for problem solvers and not product sellers helped her in making it to this list. Moving on, we have Abhijot Magotra, Account Executive at the Practice Strategic Communications. A former journalist, Magotra uses his data analysis skills to extract stories that appeal to the media professional. Next, we have Akshat Chopra, Public Relations Officer at the Power Grid Corporation of India Limited. His ability to weave the hilarious pigeon feeding scene from the iconic Dilwale Dulhaniya Le Jayenge into a larger point about employee engagement is a must-watch. Amrita Sarna, who is Manager Corporate Communications Limited. His ability to weave the hilarious... Next, we have Akshat Chopra, Public Relations Officer, Account Executive at the Practice Strategic Communications. A former journalist, Magotra uses his data analysis skills to extract stories that appeal to the media professional. Next, we have Akshat Chopra, Public Relations Officer at the Power Grid Corporation of India Limited. His ability to weave the hilarious pigeon feeding scene from the iconic Dilwale Dulhaniya Le Jayenge into a larger point about employee engagement is a must-watch. Amrita Sarna, who is Manager Corporate Communications at Max Life Insurance. Her breakout campaign on India Retirement Index study garnered 70-plus clicks and a high PR value. Anamika Bahugunam, Senior Executive Corporate Communications, SRF Limited. Her breakout video campaign, SRF Flag Bearers, LinkedIn page has now 80,000 followers as compared to just 25,000 followers in 2019. Making it to the list next is Anjali Hans, Account Executive Vodafone India. Do take some time out to view her comic strip conveying PR se pakke raaste, why PR matters. Arshia Harjani, Senior Account Executive Edelman India, is the next name on our list of top 30 candidates. Arshia spearheaded the Phase 1 organic influencer outreach of the European Union social media campaign With Love from EU to You, targeting 35 micro-influencers. Next, we have Ashima Bhatia, Senior Account Manager, Value 360 Communications. She has recorded a 90% client retention from the last 2 years and also generated large business for a firm. Moving on, we have Bhagashree Avagal, Senior Executive Client Experience at Weber Shandwick, India. She says she approaches her clients with this thought in mind: I am you, working with and as you. Next, we have Daniel Dunn, New Business Development and Media Relationship Manager with the Other Circle. His campaign on why PR was a winner for brands during COVID is a must-watch. Do check it out on the PR Moment India website. Now, I would like to congratulate Dharmesh Dave, who is an independent consultant. He strongly believes in the thought that while the dynamics of PR changed in the digital world, the goal remained the same, to build credibility. And in a digital world, credibility comes with the famous blue tick. Moving on, we have Jason Rubello, account manager at Edelman India, who created a video series on LinkedIn that helped one of their clients create awareness about corporate solutions so that they could win top talent for their teams. Julia Joseph, account manager Avian WE, who has created digital storytelling opportunities on several platforms like Your Story, TOI Online, HT Digital, First Post, and NDTV. Kavya Ramesh, reputation manager. She thinks of herself as the Hermione of the PR world. She says the media landscape was going through an overhaul during the pandemic, with the print medium refusing to prioritize entertainment. She leveraged social media channels for creating visibility for ZTV in the South. Leah Jenna, Senior Account Executive Technology Vertical at Factors PR. And our next winner has received recognition in terms of the work that she has done for the startup ecosystem and as an expert in data storytelling. A podcaster in the challenging area of purpose communications, Neha Chandra, account manager SPAG Asia, has embraced digital communication during COVID that helped her to make it to the 30 under 30 list this year. The next winner is Prachi Chavan, senior account executive, Rudolphin India. She may be a bit of a newbie when it comes to PR, but her winning work does not reflect the fact that she's been in the industry for just 3 years. Rajeshwari Sahai, Communications Officer, Unicef India. She is our next winner. Her breakout campaign, Corona Warriors India, across social media channels in early April 2020, made an attempt to document stories of grit and determination from across the country during the strict nationwide lockdown. Next, join me in congratulating Rashika Ganeshan, account manager at Edelman India, who feels that she has an excellent knack for gauging public opinion and projecting its compatibility in the digital world. Our next winner, Rohit Kumar, is Senior Executive PR at AirAsia India. He is an inspiration for us all. Acute cervical spondylitis in 2018 kept him bedridden for over 6 months, but he overcame this challenge to work with AirAsia India and push to make up for the lost time. Next, we have Sakshi Panda, Account Executive at Factors, who used the Avengers Universe concept of blipping, the very opposite of the snap, for a PR for PR campaign idea. Next, we have Sayani Chatterjee, Senior Account Executive 2020 MSL. She had to work without a manager for a brief period. However, she used this as an opportunity to grow, lead campaigns, and pick up video and audio editing skills. Next, I would like to congratulate Shruti Jain, PR Manager, Taj West End, Bengaluru, who launched the social media presence for the hotel in 2020 and managed digital channels single-handedly for a period of 6 months, gaining organic followers in the process. The next winner is Simran Arora, Senior Account Executive at Factors PR, who designed a TV show format called PR Per Charcha to highlight the impact of PR. Next is Neha Chakrabarti, Reputation Manager, The Mavericks, who helped with the building of Microsoft Stories with a client from ground zero. Stories were put together of customers, partners, and employees with journalistic values for a global audience. Snikdha Sidra, Senior Account Manager, PR Pandit. Our next winner pivoted to a digital-first approach for building effective campaigns during the pandemic. Moving on, join me in congratulating Tajinder Kaur Saini, Account Manager, The Practice, who realizes that one must lay the groundwork for the end goal. Her submission on why PR matters in a brand crisis impressed the jury. Tara Nag, Senior Account Executive, Genesis BCW. She successfully secured barter partnerships with influencers, not an easy task, and also mastered the art of virtual product launches with Canon. The next name needs a special mention, for she submitted a fully visual 2022. Please join me in congratulating Tulsi Agnihotri, Senior Account Executive, Vodafone India. He not only handled a brand crisis, but also a global product launch during the pandemic. Last but not the least, the name that completes our list of 30-30 this year is Yukti Patni, Senior Account Executive, Rudafin India. With an integrated approach, comfortable with the visual medium, she has worked in collaboration with brands to create many groundbreaking campaigns. That's this year. Thank you and congratulations to all our winners.
Congratulations to all of you who have won. It's been a hard-won contest. Believe us, it's been very hard won. And at this point, I'd like to invite some of the winners to share a quick comment, so that this is a chance to really acknowledge each other in front of an audience of nearly 100 people. So I'm just going to go alphabetically. Because that's the easiest way. Those of you who are alphabetically available, we can just go by that order. I'm just going to call out people and request you to say a few words. So,
Arul, before we start, I think let's unmute everyone and let's hear a thunderous round of applause for everyone on this call.
Absolutely. Let's do that. Let's do that.
Congratulations, all.
Congratulations to all the winners.
That is wonderful. I'll just call out names. Just give me a second. Yes, the story is also live now on the channel. So first we have Ashima. Ashima, if you're there, would you just like to say a quick comment, very quick comment, 10-15 seconds?
Sure, Parul, I'm here. Quite excited. So thank you so much, everyone. I actually thank you to first you, Parul, and of course the entire jury members. And I'd like to take a moment to thank my colleagues here, because they were really pushing me and motivating me, not just of course for the campaigns and for the last couple of years, but of course for this particular entry. So yeah, this is really special, and of course a promise to only get better every year from now on.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ashima. Next, Abhijot, if you're there, would you like to just share a quick comment?
Yeah, thank you so much for this acknowledgement. I would just say, like Madan sir mentioned, PR is such a demanding and challenging job. So this is the moment actually to take a pat on our back, and look the work that we have done. They are very rare moments that we look and reflect our work, what we have done. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Abhijot. Excuse me. Akshat, if you're there, would you just, can you make a few comments?
Yeah, I would just say that it's really endearing and overwhelming, because my first introduction to 30 under 30 was 5 years back. And when I had just joined my present company, and back then I couldn't make it to the list. And since then it has traveled with me on my journey in my heart. And this is actually a proof that we are treading on the right path. And no wonder this is a once in a lifetime achievement. And I sincerely respect the jury and everybody who was behind this perfect program, because you have been keeping the flag of professionalism and ethics really held high, because not only me, but the industry actually believes that you are distinct from others. Coming from a public sector, I never expected that public sector would also get some recognition here. So I want to thank Ms. Parul, Mr. Sujit, Percy, Mr. Behel, Ben Smith, Mr. Girish, Kavita ma'am, Mr. Soumya, Mr. Heth, Soumya, Arpana, and each and everyone, my seniors and my colleagues, and everybody who made it to the list. Congrats to all of you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Excuse me. May I now request Amrita to say a few words?
Hi, Parul. A very, very big thank you to the jury. I'm absolutely over the moon to be featured in the Godrej PR Movement Ad Factors 30 under 30 list. Before I share my experience about participating in the awards, I do want to call out Parul. A very, very big thank you to you You've been a constant guiding light in the entire process. The tips and the very important do's and don'ts really helped me craft my entry in the best way possible. I think very importantly, the award focuses not just on the work that's been accomplished, but also on the skill, the talent, and the ability of the individual to achieve those goals. Secondly, I think it also gives you the opportunity and the chance to think outside the box and to really present your work in the most engaging and creative way possible, which also adds miles to your learning curve. The fact that each year in the nomination form, I see a variety of options being offered to applicants, in terms of sharing their ideas and thoughts under the PR for PR section. The fact that it would have just begun with a simple Word document and a PowerPoint presentation, and now it's been expanded to a Clubhouse and Instagram Reels, just speaks volumes about how this particular award has evolved with the changing times. So I wish PR Moment the very, very best always, and aap hamesha PR ka jhanda lehrate rahe. So thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Very kind words. Anamika Bahuguna, may I request you to speak as well?
Yeah, thank you so much to everyone for this honor. It's indeed a big one. And since the time I was aware about this list, so I always wanted to be a part of it. It was like in my wish list, but I was always in apprehension, and I was thinking that first I should do something big enough to actually apply for this award. And then 3 years down the line, here I am. I've applied for it and I've got it, and it's a huge honor. Thanks to everyone.
Thank you so much, Anamika, for what you said. Anjali Hans, Rudafin, may I request you to speak?
Yes, hi. Thank you so much. It's a huge honor for me to receive this award. Thank you so much, jury, for the recognition, and a big shout out to all my colleagues and mentors who've always constantly pushed me to do better and help me get my work recognized. And thank you, PR Moment, for this opportunity and recognition once again, and congratulations to all the winners.
Thank you so much, Anjali. Arshia Harjani, could you share your thoughts, please?
Yes, please. Firstly, thank you, everyone. I'm beyond excited. I know it doesn't look like it, but I'm going to have the biggest jump right after this. Other than that, I feel the process in itself is very enriching. Very few times we get the chance to relive our own journey, and I think this totally made that happen, as well as expand our creativity in ways that we don't usually get to. So thank you so much for the opportunity, and congratulations, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, Arshia. May I request Ashima Bhatia, Value 360, to share her thoughts on a win?
So, thank you, first of all the jury members, Parul, and the team at Value 360. No thank you speech prepared though, but I am very overwhelmed with this prestigious honor. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you, Ashima. May I request Bhagashree now from Weber Shandwick. By the way, Bhagashree is our only winner from the client servicing side. Most of our winners are not from client servicing. Bhagashree, if you're there, would you like to share your thoughts?
Yeah. Hi, Parul. Hi. Firstly, I would like to thank the jury and everyone. Thanks to all. Congratulations to all the winners. I would really like to thank my colleagues who have been supportive from day one. And a special thanks to Kavita as well for, just pushing me to, get through this process and everything. Thank you so much again. Thanks.
Yes. Thank you, Bhagashree. And next we'd like to invite Daniel Dunn from the other circle. Daniel.
Hi, Parul. First of all, it's a huge honor and privilege to be associated with this, receive this award actually. And I think it's great that you all have given us a platform. I'd like to thank you in particular for always being so prompt, and congratulations to all the winners.
That is great. May I now request Dharmesh Dave to say a few words. And for those of us who want to get a verification done, Dharmesh is an expert on organically getting the blue tick on Twitter and Facebook. Over to you, Dharmesh.
Firstly, thank you, Parul, for my PR. Hello?
Yes, we can hear you. Go ahead.
Yes. So firstly, thank you. And congratulations to everyone on this list. I am extremely elated to be part of this list, and thank you to the jury, and thanks to you and the team for extending the deadline, because I was procrastinating to apply, and I have been procrastinating since last few years. And I was just glad when I saw that deadline got extended. I was like, oh phew, I need to apply. So thank you so much for extending the deadline, and really glad to see that so many of us are so savvy with digital PR, and good to see that application was also welcoming the digital bit of PR. So that was really interesting to see.
Great.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you, Dharmesh. Next, I'd like to welcome Jason Rubello to say a few words.
Yeah. Firstly, I'd like to thank PR Movement for this honor. I think it's a fantastic recognition in the industry. Thank you to the juries as well. I think I would also like to thank Edelman and my colleagues here for giving me the right kind of opportunities to be able to be worthy of this recognition. And congratulations to all the other winners.
Thank you so much, Jason. Julia Joseph, welcome, and request you to share your comments.
Thank you, Parul. Thank you so much, and good evening, everyone. I'm extremely honored to be in the 30 under 30 list, and thank you, PR Movement team and the jury members for this wonderful recognition. And I would also like to thank my mentors at School of Communication and Reputation Score for training me well enough to meet the dynamic needs of this industry that we cater to. And I will just take a moment to, thank my leaders at ABNV, Shamishta and Karthik, who have given the space and opportunity for a young professional like me to grow and thrive. So thank you once again, and my congratulations to all the winners. It's a privilege to be in this company.
Next, like to welcome Kavya Ramesh, as she calls herself, the Hermione of the PR world. Welcome, Kavya. Please share your views.
Thanks so much, Parul. I'm absolutely thrilled to be
Can you
featured.
turn your video on, Kavya? Yeah.
Oh yes, I'm so sorry. I'm absolutely thrilled to be a part of, to make it to this year's list. It's so rare that we kind of reflect on how far we have come as individuals and even as professionals, right? I mean, we're so busy delivering campaigns for our clients, and we very rarely look at how far we've come as individuals and professionals. And I think in that sense, my nomination helped me do that, and I'm sure it's the same for everybody else. So congratulations to everybody who has made it to the list this year. It's absolutely wonderful. Thanks so much.
Thank you so much for your thoughts. Leah, Jenna, would you share your views?
Yes. Hi, Parul. Thank you so much. First and foremost, congratulations to all the winners. Actually, it's very difficult for me to put my emotions and feelings into words right now, but I'm extremely grateful to be receiving such an important award at such a point of time in my career. A huge day for my family and loved ones. I would like to thank PR Movement India and Ad Factors and Godrej for organizing this every year and recognizing the efforts of young PR professionals. And thank you so much again. Thank you.
Thank you, Leah. Next, can we have Neha from SPAG? Please do share.
Thank you, Parul, and thank you for this award. I think it just feels extremely great to have been given this honor and a chance to talk here about this. And I think the whole process was quite interesting to just put all the work that you've done on paper, your ideas on paper, and to see your journey and just get that that reflection of how you've come so far. And I'm also looking at all the entries that everybody else has put in, and I think it's great to see the work that everybody else has done. So I'd also say congratulations to everyone else, and thank you so much for this.
Thank you. I'd like to now bring in Prachi Chavan from Vodafone. Welcome, Prachi.
Hi. Thank you, Parul. I would also like to thank the rest of the jury members for giving me this opportunity. It feels amazing to be a part of this recognition and these awards here, amidst all the other talented people. it was a strange experience entering these awards, because when you're actually doing the work, you don't think about documenting it. But when I did put it together, I feel extremely proud of the work, that the clutter breaking work that I've done so far. And this recognition only motivates me to do better. Having said that, I've been very lucky to have supportive mentors and teams all throughout my career, and without whom I wouldn't be here. So it's a great honor. Thank you so much for having me. Feels great.
Thank you so much, Prachi. Rajeshwari Sahai from Unicef. Could we request you to say a few words?
Hi, thanks a lot to the jury, and thanks a lot to you, Parul, one, for extending the deadline and being so approachable in terms of, just addressing queries. I am really thankful for this, because my nomination was for my previous role, which was at Niti Aayog, and I've now moved to another role at UNICEF. But I'm extremely humbled, extremely privileged. Thank you. And I would my work has been with the government, and I hope that this recognition would encourage more PR professionals to explore that space and create some really good campaigns for the government of India. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Personally, I think we have quite a few social purpose winners this year, and it's always great to see social purpose work being recognized. So that's wonderful. Next we have from Edelman, Rashika Ganeshan. Rashika, may I request you to say a few words, please? Okay, I'm not sure she's there. Rashika? Okay, we'll just move forward. Rohit Kumar, may I request you to come in?
Hi, thank you, everyone. It's an absolute pleasure and an honor to be recognized today. I'd like to extend my thanks to my mentors and everybody who has been a part of my journey throughout. I'd also like to extend my gratitude to the PR Moment team and the ensemble of jury members for extending this platform to us. Thank you so much, everyone, and congratulations to the other awardees. Thank you.
Thank you, Rohit. Sakshi Panda at Factors, may I request you to say a few words?
Yes, thank you so much, Parul. Thank you to the jury. I hope I'm audible, Parul.
Yes, you are. Go ahead.
Yes. A lot of thanks to you, to my mentors for their trust and patience, to my family for all the love and support. I must say a lot to ensure that our brands stay visible in the darkest of times. So I would like to salute the communication professionals. I would like to salute PR 3030 for creating a platform where this work can be recognized. I hope that we all use this forum to not only drive narratives that influence our peers, but also make a lasting impact in the world. Thank you so much. Congratulations, everyone. Have a great day.
Thank you. Next, we have Sayani Chatterjee from 2020 MSL. Sayani, welcome.
Hi, Parul. Thank you. Just to correct, my name is Shiny.
Sorry, Shiny. Beautiful name, Shiny.
Thank you. Yeah, I think everyone has already covered a lot of what I wanted to say, but just one thing. Yes, thank you, Parul, so much for being so approachable and answering my so many questions and extending the deadline. I would actually like to mention that I was a little worried about or apprehensive about participating, since I felt like probably I haven't done much, because there are so many amazing talent here in the PR profession. And however, one of my clients and one of my ex-managers actually encouraged me to participate, and hence I filled the form. And it's quite surprising to say that it actually happened, and we are here today. So congratulations to all the winners, and thank you, Parul, for this platform, for encouraging us to be a part of this. And actually, PR Moments Awards 30 Under 38 motivates us to do better, do more, and see that our work is appreciated. I know PR can be really stressful and challenging at times, but these kind of platforms help us stick to it and see our work being celebrated. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Next, we have Shruti Jain. Shruti?
First of all, I would like to thank you, Parul, for helping me with the application, right? With all the silly queries I had, you were very supportive, always there, kept giving your guidance, and it was really amazing. The whole application process of filing, what my journey in the last 2 years has been, tabulating it in the manner that it was required, was such a wonderful experience, because the kind of Excel nerd I am, it helped me like just put it all together and match with what I wanted to do and how I wanted to present it. To talking about the industry itself, hospitality is a very niche industry with not many takers. Having turned a new hotelier, it feels honored to be part of this, to be recognized in an India forum where amongst all the other talents around. Thank you for this recognition. It feels amazing because this has been my dream for a while now, and thank you for making it happen. And many congratulations to all the winners. Keep doing the good work that you're doing.
Welcome, Shruti. Next, like to request Simran Arora at Factors to share her thoughts.
Yeah. Thank you, Parul, and thank you to the entire PR Movement COVID and Ad Factors team for organizing these awards. I think PR is at a cusp of change. It's beautiful to see all of us embracing this change. I think we are all, I personally feel we are nothing without our mentors. And I think two of my mentors are so excited and they're here with me, even Lavang Khare and Prashanti Shukla. Both of them are still here with me supporting till the very end. And I'm super grateful to them. And I'm sure they're going to be more in store for all of us. Thank you so much.
Congratulations. We just have our last few names here. Sneha Chakrabarti, once again from Mavericks India. Good win for Mavericks this year. Sneha, can you go ahead and share your thoughts?
Yes, thank you so much. So firstly, congrats to all the winners, and thank you, PR Movement, for bringing out this list every year. And I had an amazing time filling up my entry, because in the process, I think I was able to revisit, analyze, and kind of celebrate all my work from so many years. And I'd like to extend a huge thank you to Edelman and Mavericks, which are my ex and current agencies where I work. And both these agencies have given me all the opportunities and mentored me so well to grow in this field. Another thing I'd like to call out, it's a very special day for me because Kavya, who's the Hermione of PR, and I are very close friends, and we've literally grown together in the PR industry. And it's very special for both of us this year to be on this list. And yeah, thank you so much once again for the recognition and having me on this list.
Thank you. Thank you. And next we have Snikdha Sidra from PR Pandit. Snikdha,
hello, hi, Parul. Thank you so much. I would first actually honestly confess that I've been over the moon with this, and I think we all were waiting for the results because this year it was a little delayed, and it's been an exciting journey. I've been pushed every year to apply for these awards, but I would definitely say that my mentors this year made sure, because they made me feel that it's a lot that we are doing, because we always felt that looking at all the entries, all the winners every year, that there is something that we might lack or we've not done enough. So I definitely would say thank you so much, and it's an honor to be on this list this year. Thank you so much, Parul, for everything.
Thank you, Tajinder. May I request from the practice? May I request you to say a few words?
Thank you, Parul. I wanted to say that public relations has become so dominant today that most brands had to relook at their image and how the communication strategy is. It was absolutely crazy working during this time and executing magnificent campaigns in this change environment and working with innovative brands. And now to receive recognition for my work. I did feel that it was the right time, right stage in my career to go for it and apply for 30 under 30. So I'm extremely grateful for PR Movement, Ad Factors, Godrej for creating such a platform, and thankful to my clients and the practice for motivating me always. Thank you for the honor.
Thank you. May I now request Tara to say a few words? Tara and Tulshi, if you can speak after Tara.
Sure. Hi, Parul. Thank you so much to you and the entire jury. It's an absolute honor, like everybody else mentioned. When I applied for the award, I was in 2 minds because I was thinking I've just been into the industry for 3 years. But I think, like Sujit sir rightly said, it's not just about the hard work, but the passion you bring to the table. And I think this is the right platform that recognizes the passion and the fuel that we all bring to the table as communication professionals. So thank you so much and congratulations to all the other winners.
Thank you, Tara. That was Tara from Genesis VCW. I'd also now like request Tulshi from Vodafone India to say a few words.
Hi, Parul. Sorry, just wanted to correct it. I mean, while it's spelled Tulshe, my name's pronounced Tulsi. So, yeah.
Thank you.
But yeah, thank you for this honor. I mean, I have been waiting for this list, as somebody earlier mentioned that, it was a little bit delayed. And yeah, but honestly, don't have words to express how happy I am. But thank you to the jury and to you to, to put this platform for us to showcase our work and recognize it every year.
Great.
And
Thank you.
congratulations to the winners.
Thank you. And last but definitely not the least, Yukti from Vodafone India. May I request you to conclude the evening with your comments?
Thank you so much, Parul. This is an absolute honor to be on the list. And thank you so much, jury, for recognizing us. Very, very congratulations to the fellow winners. I think I was very curious to know when this is happening. This turned out to be slightly delayed, but concluding this, really, really honored. And thank you so much.
That is wonderful. So I'd like to, that concludes our evening for today. Thank you once again, Madan, Sujit, all the jury members who are here, and please, I'd like to thank all of you for supporting this event. Have a great evening, and you can catch up with the story on the PR Moment website, and also share the live link with your friends and family. Thank you all. Have a great evening. Congratulations. Big clap to all of you.
Thank you, Parul. Thank you.
Thanks so much,
Thank you, Parul.
Thank you so
much.
much, Parul. And thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much, Parul. Thank you.
Thank you, Parul. Thank you, Ben. All the jury members and all the winners, congratulations. Let's hope our paths cross someday.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Parul. Thanks for